Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I'm here for something new. It's Thursday, and a week ago, week and a half ago, something like that, I put up a new poll for an old show. We finished off Yu Hakusho, and I decided that I wanted this slot to hold on relatively old shows, some seriously older stuff. So I put together a list, and with some help from somebody who will get a big shout out in a minute, put together a list of some older shows that I thought would be really interesting, not only as shows themselves, but as hallmarks of the anime industry, as things that caused and marked a shift in the industry and caused change and interesting stuff, and upon which interesting people worked. And I threw together this list and put it up on a poll, ye olde Thursday poll, and people started voting. The votes started pouring in, and I've been watching this poll with interest as it's been going, partly because I had an expectation for this poll. I was pretty sure going in that the best known series that I threw on the poll was Ashita no Joe, and to my great surprise, I have to do all of the maths and stuff, and I'll maybe do that in a big old video. It came in like third or fourth to a couple of other shows. I think the runner-up for this poll was Macross or Macross. I've never known how to pronounce that. Don't hate me, but is it Macross or Macross or Macross? I don't know. And the winner of the poll by a pretty significant margin with a whole lot of hell yes and not much negativity was Mobile Suit Gundam, the original first season of Mobile Suit Gundam. So I think for pretty much the first time on this channel, barring like when I started this channel, I think I watched the newest season of Full Metal Panic. Beyond that, we have not had a mecha show, and we are going to watch a fucking mecha show, maybe the mecha show, Mobile Suit Gundam. Yeah, okay. So I said that I would have to shout somebody out in particular, and I absolutely must do that. There is a huge amount of credit and props that must go to G. Kalaitza, or GK as I call him, on my Discord. GK's been a supporter of the channel for a good long time and is a mod on the Discord and is super into older stuff and tracking animators and has a pretty cool mindset toward the anime industry as a whole, and is basically a wellspring of interesting information. GK contacted me as the poll was going and asked for, can I get a heads up on what's winning so that I can gather and send you some interesting background information on it. So I told him that Gundam looked like it was in the lead. This was just a couple days ago. And he sent me a fucking fucking dossier document and like some interviews and some other things to read through as background for this show before we go in, which I must say is extraordinarily helpful. So massive shout outs to GK. Thank you. I wouldn't be able to go into this with the knowledge that I now have without you. It's super appreciated, and thank you for everything that you do for me and for the Discord and for the channel. You're the best. Most of it boils down to isolating two key characters, two key industry legends at this point, one of whom you've almost certainly heard of and one of whom you may have heard of, and they are Yoshiyuki Tomino, known for the Tomino Circus and for many things, as well as being that Gundam guy, as well as Yasuhiro Yoshikazu. These two people are like the backbone, the spinal column of Mobile Suit Gundam. Beyond highlighting these two individuals, whose work we might talk about once we actually watch the episode, but know that I've got a little bit of background on these guys thanks to GK. Gundam comes out in a time where mecha is pretty dominant in the anime industry, but the anime industry is not very dominant at all. The anime industry is kind of looked at as shitty kids media and nobody cares about it. And mecha was a big thing for mostly one reason, and that is that if you draw cool robots, you can sell toys of cool robots, and if you sell toys of cool robots, you can fund anime production to advertise the cool robots. It's sort of that sort of classic thing where money makes the world go round. But all of the mecha up to this point, or almost all of the mecha, I won't say all because I'm sure that there were some weird experimentation things and some stuff that happened. Almost all of it was a particular kind, a particular super robot power fantasy where a young boy gets a super robot and battles bad things that are coming to take over Earth, usually aliens and stuff. And it's pretty clear cut and pretty straightforward and a pretty solid power fantasy. Why? Because we want little kids to watch the show and be like, I want a robot, and then mom and dad go and buy them a robot from Toys R Us. Rest in peace. Gundam is a little bit different. It ushers in a kind of a new era of more realistic robots and more realistic ideas around war, something that had a pretty big influence on Tomino growing up, as well as like Japan as a whole. I heard a weird, like, ringing sound and only just realized that it's construction across the street. Jesus. The neighbors across the street have been, like, doing stuff in their front yard and stuff for forever now. I don't know when they're going to finish. It's really annoying because sometimes it's so loud that I feel like I can't record. Regardless, has nothing to do with the video, has nothing to do with Gundam. But it ushers in a bit of a change, a bit of a change in the way that the stories around these robots and stuff are told. Now, we know coming into this in 2021 that Gundam is not just a one-off show. There are like dozens of Gundam seasons, series, some of them in the UC, some of them not, some of them totally different and going balls to the walls with crazy production value, and some of them not. But we also know that Gundams as a purchasable toy, but more than a toy, like a model set and a thing that people buy and get really into, are a huge thing and have been for decades and decades. But when Gundam was first being made at Studio Sunrise, the money men didn't see it that way. They saw somebody taking the tried and true formula, make a boy, make a super robot, make the super robot with the boy inside it, fight the bad guys, and then put it up on the screen and sell it to kids, they saw Gundam as fucking with the formula, man. What are you doing? You're not gonna sell toys. You're not gonna do the thing that we hired you to do. So there is a lot of bad stuff on the production front of Gundam. And I don't know what that's going to result in, but apparently what we will notice is some internal contradictions and some weird shit. Some pretty solid, the money people want one thing, and thus we must oblige them, but really the story we're telling is a totally different type of thing. So, shit. Regardless, Gundam is a really interesting anime that has a really interesting place not only in the anime industry, but in the hearts of a lot of older anime watchers. So I am, as a newer anime watcher and a total noob to this, I guess not a total noob, I've been doing this for a couple of years and stuff, but I feel like I'm out of my depth. I feel like I don't know what to expect here, partly because I don't think that I've seen a show that was before 1980. Period. I flat out don't think that I have. So this is new territory for me. This is new territory for the channel. And while it's old territory for the world, this is some new stuff that I haven't seen and a lot of people haven't seen, but it feels like it's important. And so I'm excited to watch something important. That being said, I don't know that we should take this too terribly seriously. This is a robot show from the 70s. It's fucking old. It's gonna be weird. It's probably not the most serious thing in the entire universe. I don't know that it's going to be utterly gorgeous or jaw-dropping or mind-blowing or anything like that. I don't even know if to modern sensibilities it's even like recognizably entertaining anime, but we're here for a couple of different reasons. One is to watch a show that has a cool place in the world, and the others are to find out a whole bunch about where anime was at the time and use Gundam as a jumping off point to do research and find interesting things and, catalog the careers of interesting people and take a bit of a dive into the past and open up this time capsule of an anime made 50 fucking years ago almost. I mean, that's insane, right? Like, this isn't that old in anime terms. There was a lot before it, but 1970s were 50 fucking years ago, 5 decades. There are people who are 70 who saw Gundam when they were teenagers or kids, right? Like that's mind-blowing. That's insane. So here we are. We're going to watch episode 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam. I don't know really what to expect here, but I'm going to come into it with eyes wide open and mind clear and got good sleep last night, and I'm ready to go, man. Let's watch some robots. I think that's all I have to say here. Let's do some housekeeping and some information for those who want to know like what version I'm watching and stuff like that. I was recommended once again by GK. What would I do without you? The Zeta Rebel rip of Mobile Suit Gundam, which I downloaded from nya.si, which is a torrent site. You can go and grab the same version if you'd like to. It's a bit larger than some of the others. I think it's like 60 plus gigabytes for the whole series. I've downloaded so far like the first 10 episodes or so, and I'll swap those out as we go, just to conserve disk space, because I don't have that much disk space. But we're going to watch it in the original Japanese, and we're going to watch it with some English subs, the default track that's provided by the Zeta Rebel rip, and it's 4.3 for an anamorphic CRT TV. It's a thing, and we've got it, and we're gonna watch it, and I don't have much to say here beyond that here at the beginning. This is gonna be a new journey. This is not a short show. There are a lot of episodes here. We're gonna watch just the first episode for today. In future, we will probably watch them 2 at a time, maybe 3, maybe 4, I don't know if I can know, but we're gonna watch them probably 2 at a time. For today, we're watching Mobile Suit Gundam, Episode 01, Gundam Rising. Let's meet some characters, let's meet some robots, let's see how, put yourself in the mindset of someone creating a show, and what do you do to hook a bunch of kids watching a new show for the first time, I don't know if this aired on Saturday mornings or if it aired at night. I don't know. I'd actually love to know what time slot this aired in, just for fun. But what do you do to get kids excited for next week on Gundam and eventually get them hooked into the story enough to care about the characters and want to buy the Gundams, want to buy them robots? I don't know. But that's the challenge that faced Yoshiyuki Tomino and the rest of his staff as they came into this episode 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam. I assume we're going to start off with an opening. It's going to be a good old school anime opening theme, and I'm just thrilled. I'm fucking pumped. I would be this happy for basically any of the things that I put on the poll. I'm excited to watch something older and different and new, like simultaneously old and new, of course. But let's go. Let's watch some classic anime. So here we go. I've got episode 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam up and ready to go. It's sitting at 0 seconds with the first frame showing up on my screen. I see a big old planet. I don't know if it's Earth or if it's some other analog to Earth that's not Earth, or if it's fucking Neptune. I have no clue. But I've got the first frame up and ready to go. It is sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of each of these reaction videos. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up in the corner, so you don't have to do any syncing or anything, and that will be linked in the description. The picture-in-picture versions will not have discussion at the end. The YouTube versions will. The second version will be the YouTube version, the timer version, which you're watching right now because you're hearing me talk at the beginning. It will have a beep-beep timer that will go boop, 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 beep, and red, yellow, yellow, green. On the green... I'm getting like a catch in my throat. This is bad. Tea. On the green light and the beep will be the exact frame synced up by me in editing, the exact frame that the video starts playing on my screen. So if you've got your own copy of Gundam and you want to be able to minimize this video and just listen to me talk over it, MST3K style, you can totally do that. Just get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer will go, and you can hit the button on the green light and we get going and we're good. So that's the whole spiel. If you want early access to these videos, they will be up 1 week early up on the Patreon, which is linked in the description. You can also get access to the polls and the voting system so that you can help influence what we watch next in this and all other slots. When we end a show, I put up a poll. The poll goes up. People vote on it. We talk about what we voted on. We watch the new show that got voted on. You also get access to the Discord, where you can go in and talk to GK and other people and chat about anime and other things, lots of other things. There are a whole bunch of channels in the Discord where people talk about all sorts of stuff, and also yell at people to vote for the shows that you want to vote on, which happens pretty frequently when there are polls going on. If you want any of that stuff, you can check it out on the Patreon, and it also helps immensely. It is the one way that money is made by this channel. This is the thing that I do, and I don't put ads on my videos for a couple of reasons, but one of them is because I hate ads, and I know that you do too. So if you want to support what I do and the way that I watch anime and just getting this stuff out there and get a couple of perks in doing so, throw me a buck or two on the Patreon, and it is super appreciated. And a massive thanks to all of those who are already doing so, and to those who voted on this poll and voted for Gundam, and who voted for other things. Your opinions do matter, but Gundam won, so here we go. All right, I think that's it. Let's watch Mobile Suit Gundam Episode 1. I've got it up and ready to go. There'll be 2 versions. I said all that shit already. Why am I saying it again? I don't know. Beep beep timer. Let's get into it. Okay. Rage on. Oh, classic. Hey, we got a squad. Okay. Okay. Okay, fight the towering foe. Got some robots. Oh shit, they transform. Okay, that's... I have seen that parodied or referenced or like 1,000 times. Oh, they all have unique runs. You must seize the power. So do all the homies have robots? No. Is that a space station inside of a giant asteroid? That's kind of fucking sick. That's kind of cool. Okay. Hey, we got our OP. Hey, we got a weird angle. Okay. Backstory. Half century. Okay. Overpopulation leads to space population orbiting the Earth. Oh, that's why we're at a weird angle. Because we ain't on Earth. Oh. Okay. The Principality of Zeon. I have heard that. All right, they were launching a war of independence. Okay, but it's humans. Yeah, exactly. War bad. Whoa. Okay, stalemate. Stalemate, war. Daichi ni tatsu. So the Principality of Zeon are the bad guys, but they're launching a war of independence to break away from the rest of humanity. That's kind of interesting. Not really bad guys, are they? Ooh. That's great. Just the framing of the three of them to create the depth in space. It's really simple, but oh, what a shot. Okay. Slender, Chief. I don't know if these guys matter. Or if they're, oh my god, they're infiltrating our city. That was cool the way that he landed. Boom. Oh, hello. Hi. Wow, those are big fucking robots. I thought they were smaller. Oh, is that our main character? It is? Oh, no, that's not our main character. Amuro is, I think. Wow, the straight up depth of field through this shot, that's not easy. Oh, that's freaking cute. I want one. All right, he's technology on. Hello. Haro. Thank you, Amuro. He's rewiring a fucking computer. This boy. Oh shit, that's why everybody's gone. Nope. I love Haro. If that thing gets blown up, I will riot. Who? Oh shit. We got some blame. Seems like it's like that. Bye, Hayato. Oh, hey, we zooming. Hey, you got a sandwich. Yeah, whatever. You can't tell me to eat, tell me to evacuate at the same time. Hey, there's a classic shot. Little reflection on the thing. Ding. Hyper simplistic character designs, but they really work. They're super emotive for being so flat. Gundam, you say? Okay, that's freaking cool. The little grab and zoom. Oh, well, I have a feeling something's gonna go wrong. Hello, sparkly boy. We immediately get the theme. Dink. Oh, shit. Oh, hello, character. Ah. Pops. All right, we got a lot of in a war, anti-war sentiment going from people in the military. Oh, for sure. That's of course it does. Great framing. This is great. Like the locations and the inside of spaceship locations are genuinely believable. Like that curved hallway that the other soldiers behind him were. Oh, hello. Well, there's a boy and a voice actor. So I know this guy. First time, Lieutenant Commander Shar. Mmm. Masaka. They're about to. All right. Oh ho. Oh ho ho. Hmm. Follow orders. No, Gene. Okay, that sets up more about Char. That's cool. Into the mobile suit he goes. Yep. Yep. You're gonna die, my man. Cut, cut, cut. Hey. Well, I don't think that's true. Gathering information so you can strategize is maybe better. What a cool scene. What a cool scene. Oh, everybody evac down here. Yeah. All right. Stuck down here. How you gonna get from here to the Gundam? Yeah, we're all dead if we stay here. Cool color change. Oh. Wow. The giant bullet casings. That's awesome. Fuck y'all. We out. Oh. Yo, is his mom okay? Oh. Oh. What's this document? Yeah, I feel like his mom might not be okay. That fucking sucks. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm amazed by how good this looks. Like, this holds up in so many ways. It's definitely, like, stylistically very different, and there's so much corner cutting because of the cell animation, but god damn does it hold up. Oh, hi, buddy. Yeah, the first look. Ooh, eye catch. Sha! That's... I love it. Denim. Ooh, ooh, Okay. Got big ol' Reinhard vibes from Ashar. I guess because he's blonde and a commander and stuff, but still. Big ol' Reinhard vibes. Oh, he's just reading. Buddy, there's a war zone right now. That looks great. As he's turning... Oh, she's alive. Sick. Good. I am very glad. I feel you, little guy. Oh, that's the Gundam. That's it right there. Must go before the evacuees, so military hardware first. You gotta get out of here, bud. Oh. Well. Shinji? Shinji? Get in the robot. Yeah, it calls to you. It calls to you. You've read the man. Oh, man, I've got chills. I genuinely have chills. Haru, no! Frau will be fine. Frabo! She's alive. You're gonna have to do something, man. Fuck. Yeah. This is real. But is Haru okay? I'm sorry. This is how I cope with dramatic events. Shit. Oh. Go, girl, go. What a fucking scene. The tears dry from his face. Alright, we got a mission now. Where are we headed, Amuro? Amuro. Yeah. Let's go get it. Let's bring the fight to them. You know what all those do. You read the manual. Yeah, well. That did something. I don't know what that means. Let's give it a fucking try indeed. Pilot on. Rotating back. Oh, that's cool. Ding, ding. But yeah, this sneak mission, this stealth mission is a real fucker. Tachigate! Well, they're firing back. Not this one. Oh, you can try. Dong. Man, the sense of scale is great. Uh-oh. Man, the sound effects are so cool and old school. Yeah, you screwed up, Gene. You've created the greatest enemy of Zeon. Hey, what's good, boys? Rise, Gundam. There's our theme. Wow. That's your kid. Oh, shit, we have ammo limitations. What? That's not right. Yeah, he doesn't just get in the robot and win. He's screwed. What do? You got a sword? Do you have the sword? My man, you are sweating bullets. Oh, let's go. Hand to hand, robot to robot. Mano-y-mano, baby. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. I want a Gundam. I want one. I would like a Gundam, please. Hell yeah. Let's defend our fucking city. Let's go. Do you have a sword? You do. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's cool as hell. Indeed. And also groovy as fuck. Boom. Cool flash. Mmm. Can't explode it. Trip attack. Maybe. Stab attack. Got him. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Ooh. We did it. I'm so impressed by the depth of all of these shots. And he doesn't know. Doesn't know if it's his kid, yeah. But who else, man? Who else? Oh. Is that Char? He said he was going to combat himself. He seems like he is. Dude, those are missiles headed toward... Or no, they're not? Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is the... Fiend. You know what we're gonna do though? We're gonna skip. We're gonna keep this in like in timer or in PiP. I don't want to see these previews. That was really fast jump to preview, but I want to see the ED. You know, because it's the first time we get to see an episode. I want to end it with the ED. Let's go, ED. Oh. Oh. Shift? Nah. Do not look back. Hmm. I can't wait to meet all these fucking characters, man. Hey, blonde girl on the left be pretty cute. What up, girl? Hello. That it? And that's it. We did it, y'all. Episode 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam. Listen, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I was a little worried. We came into this, it's a fucking old show, and I'm sitting here like, all right, maybe this is gonna be rough, you know, maybe this is gonna be not that pretty, not that good to look at. Boy, was I wrong. I am blown away by how well put together this is as an episode. It flows really well, the pacing is really solid, but most impressively, the shots, it's not like jaw-dropping shot composition, but there's this eye for creating depth and space and a feeling of believability in these shots that I fully didn't expect. I kind of expected like old American cartoon style animation. Like this looks better than a lot of more modern shows. I think this as a first episode looks way better than most of the early run of Dragon Ball Z, right? That's crazy. I know that there are people who are going to disagree with me on this, and that's totally fine. But the depth in frame, the creation of space, the feel of the backgrounds, the way that characters move when they move, especially there's like when we first see Frau Bao run through here and she runs all the way up to frame, right? There's this really unique motion here. It's not like hyper impressive or anything, but it creates this sense of depth in the frame. I'm not looking at a flat canvas and watching a cell run across it. I'm watching somebody move through a building. And whether or not it's like actually, you know, I know that this is a single flat frame with a single cell on top of it that's being repainted and she's moving up toward me, but she's not. But I believe it. And then beyond that, we have Haro here who creates this other moving piece that runs up in front of her and sets down like over here, and then she runs up past it, and it feels like we're playing with depth and space in a way that makes it more believable. It puts me into the world. It puts me into like I'm a camera sitting on a table looking into this room, as opposed to I'm a person watching a piece of anime, right? That subtle distinction creates a world of realism that's really crucial for making this happen. So there's that, and then there's also just there are some delicate things here. Like, why does she goes and she sees that he hasn't eaten yet, but she knows that knows him well enough to know that that means he hasn't eaten yet, not that he's evacuated already, right? And she goes and she chastises him for not having eaten yet when there's a fucking attack coming and they need to evacuate now, which is kind of interesting and demonstrates some character stuff. Yeah, going through, grabbing stuff. I love Haro, and if anything happens to this ball of robot, I am going to riot. I said it before, I will say it again. Holy macaroni. Okay, so our introduction to Amuro the character is I don't know. It's pretty simple, but it works really well. It's not like Amuro is out there being awesome or anything. A lot of times, when people write a show, they'll start with the protagonist, right? Immediately, we establishing shot from the city, cut into protagonist doing something important, right? Protagonist's not doing anything important. He's chilling doing what he does, which is apparently work on engineering stuff. We find out through some pretty solid, subtle exposition that his father is, a little bit later, that his father is a major engineer and is the one who created the robot. Now, that's pretty classic super robot stuff. You find your dad's robot and you carry on his legacy by piloting the thing that he helped to create. And there's some stuff there that rings true psychologically and socially, for following up on what your parents have done and stuff like that. Frau kind of yells at him a bit for doing stuff. He's got a pretty cool fucking room. He's got this cool workbench set up and all these testing things. He's also got some like model planes and model cars and stuff. It's pretty great. I love the look of this show. I love the way that door looks. I love the way that his room looks. It's all flat. It's all simple, but I still love it. I also love the look of the characters. They are, again, super flat. And when I say that, what I mean is there's no shadow on these characters, right? Her jacket, when we see modern anime, a jacket will have minimum 2 colors. It'll have the color of the jacket and the color of the shadows. None of that here. Hair in modern anime has a minimum of 2 colors, maybe with a gradient, right? There will be the hair and there will be a color to like be the shadows in the hair. Same with faces. Faces will always have like shadow under the nose, shadow maybe under the eyes if the person is tired, a little bit of shadow under the lips, and definitely shadow under the chin. Ain't none of that here. We just got black lines and we got colors. We got base colors and black lines. And that's what we got, and that's what we work with, and that's how we do this. Ain't no shadows here. They don't exist. Everybody is just has perfect lighting. But despite having low detail, what is upon the characters is careful. It's character filled. The lips, the faces, the expressions, the eyes, the way that they look at each other. It's all pretty freaking crisp and clean. There's no like, maybe there's some from it being cell animated and being hard, being difficult to draw these things and draw frame by frame and paint them on fucking cells. But there's very little like bleed between character colors or between the lines and the character faces. All the coloration is really good. You can tell that, at least for this first episode, and we might see it fluctuate as the show goes on, a lot of it's really careful, and a lot of work has been put into making it look good, and it does. It actually looks good, like shockingly good. Not just for the time, but period. But it looks good. That's crazy. Some of the backgrounds are really neat feeling. I don't love this transition. This one here. We sort of zoom up this mountainside or this cliff face, up, and then we sort of cut to a different angle of pan. I don't love that, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. The interiors of all of these space locations are so dramatically different from the exterior, like landscapes, that there's this real tangible feel of being in a spaceship. I don't know if it's not like it's actually in a spaceship, because spaceships don't look like this, but I feel like in this world that spaceships look like this, and so it's done its job. It's also, the designs of all of these places are really cool. We see a couple of smatterings of cool technology ideas, like the hand conveyors that drag you across and work like kind of like moving platforms, but in space. Super neat. Really cool idea. And there are all these like little outside shots that frame things in interesting ways, as we reveal and open into other locations. There's there's a particular sensibility to the layouts and the framing and the storyboarding of this that I think ends up being credited to Yasuhiro Yoshikazu, who we mentioned in the very beginning, as well as to Tomino himself. Oh shit! I realized that I said Tomino Circus at the beginning, and that's not a thing. It's an Itano Circus. I fucked up like 45 minutes ago. Sorry. So we start to set up with this new ship and with the completed Gundam. So I guess I thought that was another robot, but it's actually a fucking ship. That's the white base, right? That one. And so that's probably the ship that our crew will end up crewing. But then from that ship come the Gundam and other robots like it. Cool. Got it. Sort of. I don't know. I'm working here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Boy, does that ship sparkle. You can just tell that it's new by its sparkly powers. I guess most of my confusion came from the fact that it has the same sort of color scheme. So I thought like, oh, that's a transforming robot. And also because it has like a head that looks like a head. I don't know. So, meet character. You can tell that he's a character because of his hair. Guess what he's looking at? A super crucial book on how to operate a mobile suit. Interesting. You know what else he has in front of him on his desk? Hello, it's Amuro. It's his dad. This isn't, like, deep or difficult, but it's some clever, simple exposition that a child of 8 can fully and easily comprehend. Oh, that's his kid. That's his dad. But then there's a little bit of stuff sprinkled in here that's a little bit harder to comprehend, kind of, a little bit more serious, which is this guy runs in and this guy is Bright-kun. I wrote it down. This is Bright, and father, Lieutenant Ray, is immediately interested in him and like making a point to talk to him. You know, the way that a commanding officer makes a point to single out a soldier and like make them feel like there's a connection there. He's doing that kind of a thing to this kid. But why? Oh, because he's got a child who's not that much younger. Oh, it's like it makes sense. It's like there's character here. But there's another reason for it. He believes that the work that he's doing to create the Gundam is going to end this war without having to send kids like his kid into battle. Unfortunately, the opposite is going to be the case because it's going to be his kid piloting that Gundam. But we only have that one Gundam at the moment. We have to get it to somewhere else if we're going to mass produce them. And you have to imagine that Lieutenant Ray is probably not that happy about his work being turned into weapons of war, except that he believes that those weapons of war can end this war. I think that's really interesting. Again, this isn't the deepest plot in the world, but it is a plot, and it is focused. It's got a pretty clear from the outset focus on war bad. The guys who are the good guys are not the good guys because they fight the war, but because they're trying to stop the war. And we see elements of the opposition, the Zeon people, having this almost bloodlust, this like desire, whether it's for just to destroy, which I don't see, or more importantly, whether it's to get ahead in that organization, which seems to be somewhat autocratic, and seems to be, you know, we hear that Char made it by proving himself in battle, very much like the Empire in Legend of the Galactic Heroes. There's this different vibe from over there. The people on our side are fighting because they want the war to end. The people on their side are fighting because war is the way you get ahead. War is a means to an end, as opposed to a thing to be ended. Damn, that's a good line. War as a means to an end instead of a thing to be ended. Ooh, yeah, good job, me 15 seconds ago. You nailed it. I hear there are kids his age fighting as guerrilla soldiers. And there's some serious like feeling here from Lieutenant Ray. Is it true? This shot really stands out to me. It's just a simple curved floor here, right? But something about the fact that it's a curved floor inside of this circular like station thing that we've seen, it just clicks. Something about this scene clicks for me and is like, okay, I again believe this space exists. It's not like it's super complicated. It's not like it's super special or anything. But just having that curved floor here, having these other people having this other conversation back behind us as Bright ducks back into this hallway, something about it feels right. I don't know. It just feels right. So here's another one of these cool layouts. It's like a bridge. It's a cool room with cool stuff going on. I don't know what the hell any of this stuff is, but it's cool. What we do in this scene is like we could just cut to this scene and be focused on just this admiral, I guess, or whatever guy, right? Just like flat Starship Enterprise focus cut on just him sitting in his chair in the middle of the screen, right? We could do that, but we don't. What we do instead is we create this scene where there's this guy up in the foreground off on one side. There's this angled element that creates a sense of space going backward. There are these other guys in the background doing their own thing. And the general is sitting in the center of everything. But also, not just the center of our frame, but the center of our depth, right? And so everything is rotating around him in this ship. Something about that is really smart. Like, it's really easy to just make a layout and be like, who's talking in this scene? Oh, the admiral guy. He's in the middle. We drew it. We did it. We're done. It's a little bit, it speaks to a little bit of an eye for detail, an eye for putting things together, to be like, what do we want to express about him? Well, he's at the center of things. So we make him at the center of things, and we create depth around him. We make him at the center of that, and we feel it. We understand it. And then he's also at the intersection of a bunch of interesting points, and it's just cool. It's just cool. Lots of characters walking away from camera or toward camera, which is like as difficult as it gets. It's much easier to draw a person doing a walk cycle across a frame than it is to make them walk out of frame or into frame, especially when you're doing literal cell animation and you have to draw each one separately and get them to feel right as the character walks through space at an angle and foreshorten all the relevant parts. That's fucking hard. But they do it a lot, because it makes it look better. It makes it feel better. I think it's also really important that we get plenty of shots of the outside of this outside of this space station, and of the inside of the space station. It makes it feel like a location, and it's almost filmic in its presentation of doing these outside shots, inside shots. In a lot of like pretty good space films, like in Event Horizon, which I watched a few weeks ago, or in Sunshine, which I think is a great space film, you get these outside shots and inside shots, and it creates a sense of like, where are we, that really tracks. Also, it's cool. It's really fucking cool looking. It's gigantic, and I don't know what any of this stuff is, but it's really cool looking. So, meet the bad guy. Listen, I've seen a couple thousand pictures of Char. I know who this boy is. I actually don't know that much about him besides he's this boy. And also like a core figure who I think shows up in a whole bunch of like other Gundam media. He's got a hell of a character design. He's got a cool freaking hat. He's got a cool freaking jacket. He's wearing red and gold and black and white. And he's blonde. And he's got the weird thing with his eyes, with his mask, where they're just like white, which makes him kind of unreadable and is a very classic bad guy thing, to put a mask on the bad guy so you can't see their eyes and you can't relate to them on an emotional level. But in this case, he still has eyes. He still has like this thing that he sees through. It's just weird. It's just like, it's different. And then we've got Monsieur Nose back here, whose defining feature is having a giant fucking snoot. Nothing wrong with that. But it is kind of funny how it's accentuated by his helmet shape. Like the helmet has a nose and then he has a nose. It's pretty interesting. And I think it's also important and interesting to note that Char is like, this is a good-looking dude. I mean, look at his chin. He's got a classic like Roman type nose. This is a good-looking boy. He's got the lettuce, the lacrosse lettuce coming out, He's a good-looking dude. He's like the peak of the Xeon Federation, whatever. Them Xeon peeps. I wonder if there's any intent to make him like. I know this is weird to say, but like Aryan and stuff. I don't know. I don't feel like that's accurate. I don't feel like that would be, but maybe. I mean, again, we're in we're 2 decades after the war, a little bit more, post-war Japan stuff. So maybe, but I don't think so. I think they just designed Char to be a cool-looking guy, and they did real good. Okay, so the guys on the recon mission make a decision that is going to change the course of this war immensely because Amuro ends up getting in the robot. They have no idea that this is going to happen, but Jean, using Lieutenant Commander Char as an example, hops on into his robot in order to build his own career upon actual combat. Again, we've got this idea of furthering yourself politically and socially through combat, through war, through demonstrating your prowess upon the battlefield, and a foolish youngster, basically, going against orders, being insubordinate as he goes. Sorry if you hear vacuuming. There's vacuuming going on. Being insubordinate as he goes and screwing the pooch. Don't you realize this is insubordination? Cease and desist. But he begins to attack civilians. And also a military outpost. Like, understandable, right? But not good. Not good. And he starts blowing up mobile suits. I love the way the explosions look. I mean, they're hella old school, you know? This is super hella old school. The red-orange with the orange-red gradient that's like airbrushed or like hand-painted on. It must be sprayed to get that feel to it. I don't know how you would do that with a brush. Yeah, I don't know. But the explosion looks really good. The tires flying into frame is awesome and great. And we see there's a person there who is not a person anymore. They're a smear on the pavement. That guy got dead, like straight up. Straight up, 9 minutes and 57 seconds into Gundam, we have our first definite known casualty. Like, not just a thing exploded and maybe there were people there. No, that guy dead. And this guy smiles like, yeah, I got him. The sooner you defeat the enemy, the better. Well, there's an issue with that. That's not true, right? In war, knowing your enemy is far more important. The recon that they're doing could be what they need to actually win this cleanly, right? If they know that the enemy has mobile suits, then they can follow them and track them and attack them however they want, right? So he's wrong, and he's a fool. And we're demonstrating that and showing that. I think that the scenes of the shooting are really cool. We get this great recoil, get the shell casing ejection, boom, and we turn immediately. Like, this is some tight frame timing and some tight, like, this is stuff that gets laid out in storyboard. How do we make these frames go, and how do we make this feel like he shoots the gun, the thing explodes? You have to get the timing right to feel boom, bam, right? Like, we have to get it right, and they do. We get really sketchy with some of the line work as things are moving quickly, and it looks fucking good. It looks fucking good. Especially as this big weighty thing goes tumbling down this mountainside. There's weight to it. It feels right. It feels good. And it also feels like we're not blowing up like a model, like a tiny thing. We're blowing up a big thing, and all the parts move as though they're large. And like the way that this sort of arm gun thing slowly falls, and the way it falls here and begins to tip slowly toward the camera is really neat. It's cool. So we jump to the inside where Amuro is sitting among all of these people, and he's realizing pretty quickly that this is an attack. This is not good, and he is scared for his father, so off he goes. Now, they make an interesting argument, which is that if you go outside, going out could put us all in danger, and it might have. It's hard to say because it seems like the weaponry that's being brought to bear here is going to explode this safety zone, this bunker, regardless. But he does open this door, and he does open the other door, and he rushes out, right? And then the other people, I mean, I guess it's their fault for not just closing the door and hunkering down. Maybe. But maybe they would explode the bunker anyway. It's hard to say. Amuro here is kind of reckless going out here. It's not necessarily the best move. But he's worried about his father, and off he goes. Gets in the car, another scene of him running. I think that this is where we start to really understand the size of these things. We get these giant shell casings dropping, which is super cool. Gets in his hover car, gets yelled at by some soldiers who are trying to unload some stuff, and he ducks down. They do not. I love this sort of this painterly kind of a Dazaki frame almost. Like this is freeze frame on an explosion. Whoosh. And rocks that would have killed him if he stayed in the car, and the binder, the booklet, the key information. And it is information that ends up winning this day, because he sits here and he reads this thing while there's a war going on. Yikes. Yeah. Okay. I was following orders, but he's moved forward to support Jean, and the Federation has mobile suits. So more incoming, more bad shit incoming, and everybody running. I mean, this is a cool scene. These are mostly close to faceless characters, except for this child. And then Frau. What are you doing, Amuro? Are you a fool? We have to evacuate. And there is war literally happening outside. Rockets flying, stuff exploding, people straight up full board dying. That was like a dozen casualties in a blink, right? Welcome to war. So we do this sort of 1-2 punch of, we've got a couple characters who are anti-war in their expressions and their sentiments, and then we've got demonstrations of war itself, killing people who are near us. Boom, welcome to the horror. I think that's really good. I think it's really crispy and really clear and really straightforward, and it works really solidly. Get to the spaceport, Frau, going after Dad. Hey, Dad. They can't go. They can't get anywhere, and this is the Federation's secret weapon. Skimming through the books, big explosion. I actually really love the way that looks. I want to frame by frame this just to see, because it looks like it zooms from the bottom left corner upward. Yeah, it does. And then he immediately responds to it and is blown back through and behind camera as this giant explosion of debris covers him. And we start to get dark here, right? Frau runs after us and almost gets exploded. If she hadn't run after us, she would have gotten exploded. Barely survives this explosion. Frau! And he goes, he's trying to help her. You have to go. But she is in shock. Her mother, grandpa, all of these people are out there, and they are fully dead. And Frau begins weeping. I think the voice acting is also stellar. Like, it's really good. It's good. I can't even attach for the time or anything to it. It's just good. How awesome is that? How cool is that? We also get this schlap. Usually I'm pretty anti-schlapping women, but if somebody is fully freaking out and going to die if they keep freaking out, snapping them into themselves can be really important. So I don't love it, but yeah, you have to save this person's life. A little bruised cheek is not going to be the worst of her worries. And he also says, get a hold of yourself. You're stronger than this, which I think is great. You are stronger than this. You have to run now. I will meet you. Go. Way to go. That's it. And he's so proud of her. Dude, it actually breaks my heart. God, I love simple storytelling. I love it. I love simple characterization and simple storytelling. Like, it's not hard to read Amuro here. There's no mystery of what he's thinking or whatever. He's trying to save this girl that he cares about, right? I don't know if she's related to him in any way or whatever. I don't know how much older than him she is or whatever. It doesn't matter, right? She's a person that cares about him and who he cares about, and he sees her running away toward hopefully safety and is proud. And what does he do? With tears in his eyes, he shakes them off and he turns toward the one thing that he thinks could maybe change things. The weapon. War. And so Amuro becomes a pilot. He hops in. I actually really like this sequence. He doesn't just hop in and the robot's like, "Hello, Amuro, you are now my master. Would you like me to defeat the Zeons?" No, he does this through his own understanding of engineering and the fact that he's got his father's guidebook in front of him. He starts to understand what all these levers and dials are. He's presumably he's driven things that have certain things that are similar, right? He figures it the hell out. And just in time. We also see some more people dying. We sent pilots. We didn't expect this attack. Shit is bad. There are a bunch of scenes of the fighting and stuff that are really good. And Jean here and Denim. Oh, I guess they're Denim and Jean. Fuck you. Fuck you. I just got it. Oh, I need a minute. Oh, that hurts. Oh, it hurts. Who is the third member of the squad? Wrangler? Fuck. Okay. Thought they were all just unassembled parts, but it's getting up. And he blasts us with the rifle and it does nothing. Our mobile suit is sick. Just watch. Up we get. Up we vent. I love this look of the sort of stippled look in the shadowy areas. So much detail is put into these robots, of course, right? And especially into the Gundam itself, right? If there's a toy that we want kids to want to buy, it's this one, so it has to look cool. It stands up. It's so against modern sensibilities for robots, though. I guess a lot of that comes from the shift made by Ava into these more lithe, organic-looking robots. It's so blocky and big and blocky, but of course, you have to be able to manufacture a toy of it, and so it can't be fluid or with small parts and stuff, right? We didn't have the kind of casting technology that we have today, where you can buy an Ava Unit 00 and it looks fucking sick, right? You make a thing and you make a bunch of pieces that you cast out of injection molded plastic, and you put them together, and that's your robot. You got a robot. Be happy. Fuck you. Fuck you. Buy my robot. Fuck you, I love you, eat a rat. No, buy a robot. And it's expressive. It's got eyes. It's got a face. It's got a helmet. It looks really cool. It also has, I didn't realize ever, because I live in this world. I've not lived entirely under a rock. I've seen the Gundam before. I've seen it. It exists. I didn't realize that these were guns. Holy shit, it's got guns in its head. That's pretty fucking cool. So he goes and he fires a bunch, and he misses a bunch, and runs out of ammunition. Holy shit, not a thing that would happen in Mazinger, right? Like, that doesn't happen. You're in a super magic robot that fights the bad guys and wins. No, he's got to actually think things through and, fight. And he's got limitations, and it's a machine. It's like a tank. You get into a tank, you're like, I'm gonna save my town. How do I drive this thing? Well, he knows how to drive this thing because he has the manual. Okay, how do I load this thing? Oh shit, usually tank crews have 4 people to load a bullet. Thanks, Girls in Panzer. You made me... No, I was aware of that before anyway. But what do you do? We're out of fucking shells. Uh-oh. But unlike a tank, he can just rip, tear, and grab. I think this scene is super duper sick. It also demonstrates the power of the Gundam, right? And I think this is the moment where I went... In my head, I was trying to think, okay, I'm 10, and do I want one? Do I want one? Do I love this? Am I into it? And at this moment, when he rears back, holding the front of this robot face's face, and throws it and yanks the fucking stuff off of it, my 10-year-old inside went, yep, I want one. Absolutely do I want one. Gimme, 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 gimme. Mom, we gotta go to Toys R Us. Rest in peace. I need a Gundam. I need it. I need it now. It's a cool fucking shot. Oh, what? Expressive robots. What? So cool. All right. Bumping the thing, going for the sword, and hey, you want to double down on cool stuff? It's got lightsabers. It's got laser swords. He chops up a thing and it explodes. I love the flashing impact frame style and his response on the inside. And then his immediate recognition that, oh shit, an explosion like that could leak all of the air from this place and kill all the people before they could get out. Like, there are real stakes here, right? Everybody that he knows is on this station, and they're all going to die if he fucks up, right? That's legit. For a first episode set of stakes, he has got to do this, and he's got to do it right, and he's got to kill this guy in this robot without making it explode and hitting its power source. So he guesses. He guesses at where the pilot is. He's got a pretty good idea of where the pilot is, but he guesses that the power source isn't there. He stabs in, and this moment of absolute fear, is this thing going to explode right in front of me? And it doesn't. And he's successful, and he's victorious. What a weird fine line of success there, because it's not just beat the bad guys and we win. It's beat the bad guys in a specific way that leaves as few civilian casualties as possible, and we are okay. And still a huge portion of the population of this station where we grew up is fully dead, including Frau Bao's mom and grandpa and, like, family and stuff are full dead. We'll have him do it, whether he's a real pilot or not. He's the only one who's been able to do anything like that. We need his help. Incoming. No one likes to admit to them, to the mistakes they've made because of their youth. Basically, those fools, they fucked up. And then it's into ED. Yo, I'm impressed. I am genuinely impressed by this show. I might watch this if it was a modern anime. There's interesting stuff going on here. I knew there was going to be some interesting stuff around ideas around war. I didn't expect it to hit right out the gate. I thought we would honestly fuck around a bit more in this episode, but we don't. It's like the evacuation is happening from moment one. The assault on this base, I guess it's just a recon mission, but the one that goes bad and ends up being huge for the plot. Moment one. Literally the first scenes are of this location, and then these guys going in. You know, once we get this recap that tells us about the Zeons and them fighting for their war of independence. But then immediately we're on this stealth mission. And it's a cool stealth mission. And there are these cool shots that create, like, space and depth, just using the 3 and using cool angles on them. Man, I'm so psyched by this. It's like, it's actually cool. I know that we're probably going to get, like, a little more predictable as we go along, maybe. You know, a little bit more monster of the week, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know. This episode is impressive. We've got 2 warring nations, right? We don't really know the motivations of either. We don't know why the Zeons are fighting for independence. Just the fact that they're fighting for a war of independence is interesting, right? It ain't aliens fighting us. It's not some threat that we couldn't understand. It's people that we can understand, that have their own reasons. But maybe those reasons aren't good. Or maybe they are. And it's just that we have to fight regardless, because they're going to wipe us out if we don't. That's terrifying. And really interesting. It forces you to think about conflict and about war in a way that's far more realistic, because there's only one species that humans go to war with, and it's humans. That's it. There aren't aliens. World War II wasn't caused by bad guys from outer space being unquestionably evil. Certainly there was some unquestionably evil stuff going on in World War II, but especially on the Japanese front, like, why did Japan fight in the war? Supremacy, pride, furthering their own, like, social and political goals, right? It tracks a lot more with real understanding of how war occurs than a lot of more, like, easy to grapple with, we're the good guys, they're the bad guys, fight, fight, fight type shows. And we've got some interesting characters with some interesting characterization, a cool OP, a neat ED. I really like the eye catches also. The audio on them is really fun. solid production so far. It's only first episode. Usually first episode is a little bumped in production because you got to hook people, right? But I believe in the backgrounds. I believe that the world exists. I believe that the space stations exist. I like the characters and the character designs that we've seen so far, and some of the ones that we've seen only in passing because of the OP and the ED. Hello, blonde girl, what's up? I can't wait to meet her because I think she's really cute. I hope that she's likable. I don't know, but I'm into it. Not just like, oh, I guess this is okay for a show from 50 years ago, 45 years ago, or whatever. I guess it's okay. No, it's like, it's good. This is more than watchable. How cool is that? I'm so thrilled. Okay. I don't know if I have more to talk about here. I'll probably have more to talk about in the beginning of next episode because I'm sure that GK will hit me with some interesting production materials and details and stuff. Yeah. Cool episode. Cool first episode of a show. Cool show. Hell yeah. We're going to be in it for a while, so I'm damn glad that I like it as much as I do. And I'm excited to see more because this was actually exciting and actually got me on an emotional level, especially in the moments where he like shoos Frau away and tries to get her to safety and then chooses to run into the combat himself. There's something about that scene and the way that it sounds, the way that it looks, and the way that it feels that actually like resonated deep with me. And those are the moments that get you invested more than anything. You know, like in a similar sense, like this is a show that's aimed at children because we're trying to sell them something. Another show that I absolutely love is Precure, which has been around for like a decade and a half now at this point, nowhere near as old, but is also a show that is aimed at children and trying to sell them something. It is. It's flat out is. All of the moralizing and the preachiness and the lessons and stuff in it are for a reason, and that reason is to get kids invested so that they buy Precure toys, and so that we can sell the toys and keep making the show, right? It is what it is. It sucks. I don't like it, but it is the nature of this beast. But the things about Precure that I love are not just like the Sakuga or the way that it looks. They're the emotional resonance of stories that are aimed at being emotionally resonant toward children. But I think that being able to nail those and actually instill interesting lessons once you're invested in those characters is really cool, and it's a part of the thing that I love so much about anime. These stories that resonate with us and have some kind of lesson to them are what got me into anime as a medium in the first place and what have kept me in it since. So, you know, we're watching, like yesterday we watched Odd Taxi, which is a show that's not that. It's very much aimed at a more adult audience. It's more mysterious. It's more intriguing. It's more filmic in its presentation. And it's wonderful on all of those levels. But it doesn't have that like anime-ness, that simplicity, and that simple, resonant, repetitive almost storytelling that I really genuinely love about anime sometimes. Precure does, and so far, Gundam does. And that's really interesting to me. So I'm excited to see more. All right, we're going to wrap there. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Mobile Suit Gundam Episode 1. Rise Gundam. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. If you've got interesting stories about your own interactions with this show or franchise, your own relationship to it, or if you know cool stuff about the production or the people involved in the production, please, 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 please write them in the comments. I would love to see that shit. It excites me to no end to find out cool things about a show that I already find cool. If you want to get the next week's episode a little bit early, it'll be up on Patreon sometime the day that this one goes live on YouTube. So, with all of these things said, thank you for watching. Thank you once again, GK, for all of the support and the interesting information and stuff. I really couldn't do this without that kind of stuff. It's awesome because, you know, going out and searching for that information while avoiding spoilers is nigh impossible. Thank you very much, and thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next week for more Mobile Suit Gundam. Peace.